Hi, I'm Ellen Violette, the ebook coach, and today I'm interviewing author Barbara Miller. She's a certified master life coach and motivational speaker, the founder of Barbara and Company International, and she studied health and wellness at Ashford University, and she earned her master's life coaching certificate at the American University of NLP. Barbara is the author of Dancing in Rhythm with the Universe, 10 Steps to Choreographing Your Best Life, and You Lost Your Marriage, Not Your Life, How to Create Your Life the Way You Want, inspirational, motivational, and self-help books for women. Barbara's main goal is to empower women to lead their best lives, yet by overcoming negative thoughts and habits carried over from childhood. Barbara believes that we have the power within to live life as a winner and not a victim. So Barbara, welcome to the call.
Thank you. I'm happy to
I'm
be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. This is very exciting. So, I want to start and just go through some of the issues that you talk about in Dancing in Rhythm with the Universe, your new book, and what brought you to write this?
I wrote it basically as a follow-up from my first book, You Lost Your Marriage, Not Your Life, because this book helps bring a new life into play after going through an excruciating divorce. And I wrote this to let other women know that there really is life after divorce. And I thought this book would certainly encourage them to look for a better life, a new life, one that they can enjoy and one that suits them well.
That's a great goal. So, in your first chapter, you describe your own courageous move from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Naples, Florida. Why did you make such a drastic move, and what did you learn from that?
Well, I learned a lot. It was pretty scary. First of all, I decided that I wanted to have a new life. Plus,
Hmm.
my divorce had left me with no money, and I had this great big house, and I couldn't afford to keep it, and it was just not working out well for me. So I had friends in Florida who kept saying, "Come here, come here." So I had a big sale, sold everything, packed what I could take with me in a U-Haul, and moved to Naples, Florida. And I was terrified, and it was an experience that caused me to I was either going to grow from it or I was going to die. It was that scary. But I did do it, and I've been here now for several years. But I moved from a 5,000 square foot home into a little tiny two-bedroom apartment on the third floor, and I did it, and I think it was something that I needed to do.
Hmm. And is there anything you can tell women who, might be in a similar situation and afraid to take the step? I mean, is there, how did they get through that?
Well, first of all, you need to measure where you are right now and where
Hmm.
you'd like to be. And if your life is what you want, where you want, you're getting from it what you need to get to grow. And if not, um, you have to examine that and write down the pros and the cons and say to yourself, is this really where I want to be, or do I need to make a change?
Okay, that's really good advice. So, you write about compromising your own goals and desires to please others and how that can cause resentment and anger. And would you elaborate on that for us?
Women are great at that.
Hmm.
We are so burned out from trying to be a mom, a wife, a housekeeper, president of the PTA, or whatever, and we run ourselves ragged just as though we were on a treadmill. And at some point in time, you'll have to analyze all of that, everything that's going on around you, and say, is this what I really want to be doing, or am I doing this just to please someone else? And I know a woman who spent her all of her life staying home, working with the kids, and then one day she said, this is nice, but they're getting older, and I really need to do something for me.
Hmm.
And her husband fought her on that. He didn't like it. He didn't want her to go out there and do what she wanted to do. But I commend her. She was brave, and she did. And she's never been happier in her life, she tells me. So step
Wow.
out, do what you want to do. Don't just do things. Say no. It's okay to say no. I had a hard time learning to say no because I grew up in a house of violence. And you didn't say no. You just were at the mercy of someone else's decisions. Well, now I have the right to say no, and so do you.
Absolutely. And you're right, it's not easy. It's sometimes not easy. You talk about goal setting and how important it is to have clearly defined goals. How does one go about defining their goals? Is that kind of what you just talked about a minute ago, or is there something else to
It's
it?
kind of what I talked about, but there's more. Having clearly defined goals, um, first of all, I like to tell people to write down what you want for your goals. What are your goals for your life? Because when you write them down, it breathes new life into them and they're more real. And you can actually look at your goals, analyze the goals, see where you're at, see what you might need to do, see what you might need to change, or maybe not change. But once they're written down, your mind begins to perceive those as a reality of what you want for your life, and it begins to help you work on that.
Okay, great. Well, in chapter 5, you talk about how our words and negative beliefs shape our lives. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Watch your words. They go out into the universe and they shape your life, and they're coming from the non-stop verbiage in your head. And much of this goes back to what I talked about being carried over from childhood. We are all really products of our past, but your past does not have to define your future. You can define your future by recognizing the words that you are saying in your mind. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Nobody likes me. I could never do that. I could never write a book. But yes, you can,
Right.
and those words are not true. And I'm here to say to you, it is not true. You can do
Uh,
whatever you
yeah,
define.
and you're proof. I mean, you didn't, as you said, you didn't have the perfect childhood, and you're here and you've written books and you're, doing this interview and getting yourself out there, and it's completely commendable. Um, so let's see. Okay, so chapter 6, you say that we are each responsible for our own happiness. How does someone find their own happiness, especially if they lost a marriage, a home, or, live with regrets? What do you do?
Finding your own happiness. I like the quote from the Dalai Lama. He says, if you want others to be happy, show compassion.
Mhm.
If you want yourself to be happy, show compassion. And
Mhm.
I thought, compassion, really? Is that going to make me happy? And I thought, I'll practice compassion. Well, I was a dismal failure doing it the way I was trying to. You'll just come across as condescending, and people won't relate.
Mhm.
But what I started to do, and I live here in sunny Florida, so I like to go and walk to the beach in the morning.
Mhm.
And during my 2 mile walk, I communicate with life, and that's my relaxation, that's my meditation, and I love looking at the animals and the wildlife along the trail. And I started thinking, some of these people, bless their hearts, because it's Florida, they're old, I mean, really old, and they're
Mhm.
going along. Some are actually going along with a walker, going down the same trail. Some are in their wheelchairs, and others are just walking along. And so I started envisioning for them happiness. And I have this little thing that I do. I imagine angel wings covered in angel dust, and I just sprinkle that on them when they walk by and wish them blessings for the day. And surprisingly, some people even turn around and look at me like they think I did something, but they don't know what. And so
Wow.
I really think that they can feel you opening up to them. And what happens, I believe, with this is that you open up your inner sanctum to live from the inside out rather from the outside in. Living from the outside in wraps you up like invisible cellophane. You just get so tight in everything that you've always done, everything that you just have made a habit of that's not serving you well, but you still have, you're all wrapped up tight. But when you reach out from the inside out, it unwraps that invisible cellophane, and then you can learn to love outwardly instead of sucking everything in. And that's one of the wonderful things I have learned by this meditation that I do.
Wow, that's really interesting. And think about it. I mean, especially as women, how many times are we told to suck it in when you're
Yes,
growing up?
deal with it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow. So, I mean, there's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen there.
absolutely.
Okay, so you also link laughter, friendship, relationship, meditation, diet, exercise, and dance to happiness. Can practicing any of these actually make us happier?
Yes, it absolutely can, and it's scientifically proven. When you exercise, um, you activate endorphins and all this wonderful oxytocin, all these wonderful things that make you high if you're taking illegal drugs, but they're
Hmm.
wonderful because they're inside of you. And when you're happy, you make your own, and that will give you all kinds of encouragement, well-being, just a good feeling of who you are when you're happy, and when you're exercising. Your diet, if you're on a diet that's causing you to gain weight, feel sluggish, you're not getting out there, then you're not activating any of those feel good hormones, and you're not going to feel real good if you're sluggish and overweight, or just in general not watching your health.
Hmm.
Laughter is an amazing tool for us to use for activating those feel good hormones and those happy hormones. When you're laughing with other people and enjoying them, and they're enjoying you, that's a wonderful way to activate everything that's going to make you feel really good. It will attract people to you. Men, listen to this, ladies, men are attracted to happy women. Women who are laughing, women who are funny, men feel very drawn to them. So spend some time being happy.
Hmm. Well, do you go into diets, or what else? What do you go into in that chapter?
Okay, what I can say about your diet, I'm kind of a health and wellness freak,
Hmm.
and I do a lot of research. And the latest research tells us if you're following the government's pyramid that's heavily weighted with wheat and starches, heavily weighted is what you'll be. You need to consider uh, curbing the carbs and eating more protein. Getting fat in your diet is just fine. Dr. Atkins had it right all along.
Hmm.
It's just they're now coming out with all kinds of advice, exactly what you find in the Dr. Atkins book. Am I saying you need to be on a Dr. Atkins diet? No. But adopting some of the suggestions in his book, absolutely. I have found since I stopped eating wheat, from the book Wheat Belly, which I
Hmm.
love, I lost my little muffin top I was starting to get. I've had more energy, didn't have any irritable bowel symptoms, none of those things. Wheat is a major factor in women not feeling good. Give up the donuts and give up the bread, and you can still get your carbs in a good way from all those wonderful vegetables that are going to make you so healthy and so happy.
I'm totally with you. I mean, when I was a kid, I was really depressed and I was eating all that stuff. But in those days, we didn't know any better. Now it's a whole different world and people
Well, and
know.
also though, I'm sorry, when you're younger though, you can do that,
Hmm.
and you're going to run it off, wear it off usually. But the older you get, after 40, it's just going to sit there and go, aha, I am here and you put me here. Now you got to figure out a way to get rid of it, because now the sad part of that is that is causing that visceral fat that is really dangerous for your heart, and that's what sits underneath, and that's the dangerous toxic fat, and that's what we want to get rid of. So keeping that down will keep you healthy and strong.
I want to go back to something you said before because I was thinking about this some more. You talked about being happy and laughter and everything. Do you have any suggestions for how people can do that more?
Yes, a very important thing for your health is to get together with friends, not friends who are going to bring you down, not friends who just want to sit around and have a pity party.
Hmm.
If they're constantly throwing negativism at you while you're trying to visit with them, trying to have this nice conversation, that might not be someone you want to spend a lot of time with. I'm not saying you have to dump all your friends, but if they're all negative, you may want to try less of them and cultivate friendships with positive, uplifting people who really enjoy life, who go to the gym. You'll meet them there. You'll meet a lot of happy people at the gym. Go to a yoga class. I have met so many nice, nice women at yoga class, and men as well. Men are doing it too.
Hmm.
And they have just like nice stretching and things you can do if you don't want to do a downward dog or twist into a pretzel and
Hmm.
hurt yourself. There's all kinds of things that you can do. And I go to the gym. I do weights. And when I don't feel like going to the gym, I do free weights at home. This will help make you happy. But nothing is better than sitting with a friend, joking. I have some friends who are so funny, and when I'm with them and I spend any time with them, I am so happy when I leave there. It's like I've just had such a big shot of endorphins. I can do anything. So surround yourself with happy, positive people. That's how you do it.
Sounds great. Okay, so what if you have family members that are not positive and you can't really get away from them?
That's that is a problem. But if you can't get away from them, if you're living with them, that's different, and it is a problem. But hopefully, you're not having to live with them at this stage. And then, well, some
Yeah,
do because
sometimes you are.
you're
Yeah.
taking care of them
Yeah.
as an older adult. Yes, and then you do have problems. But finding ways to let them know that they could be happier too, I think, is a good step. Um, it's not easy taking care of a person who's maybe infirm,
Mhm.
or maybe they're Alzheimer's. I mean, my husband and I experienced that. It's not an easy thing.
No, it's
It,
not.
it is hard, and you have to just do the best you can to make them happy.
Hmm.
And if they're happy, they're going to make you happier. It's no fun when they're miserable and they're making you miserable.
Right.
So finding a way to take a break from that is a major help.
Okay, good advice. So you talk about the dance of solitude and how important it is to get away from the stressors of life, as you just said, and take a break. Um, does this really help when we have so much to do? You know, people feel so short on time these days.
You owe it to yourself to take a break. And it might be a vacation. It might be a day of lunch with a friend, not a negative friend, a happy friend. Have
Hmm.
lunch, go shopping. Any of these things you can do just to have a day apart. You can go, like I do, to the beach and just sit on the beach and just be by yourself, do some writing, journaling, whatever. But those are all ways to come apart and spend time for yourself. I liken this to a trip. I was with my husband David, and we were in one of the islands, and we decided I have to clarify, he decided that
Hmm.
we were going to take this excursion to the jungle and a beautiful rainforest, and we were going to go tubing, a gentle ride down. I thought, okay, but I got in the jungle and I heard rushing water, and I thought, okay, and they strapped me in a heavy duty life jacket, and I thought, oh my. And I couldn't leave because I would have been alone in the jungle.
Hmm.
So we go to the river edge, get in our inner tubes, start down. It wasn't long, and I heard the water picking up. I heard the noise of the rapids picking up, and I thought, oh no. I saw two women ahead of me, or two people ahead of me, spinning out of control and flipping upside down. And I thought, oh, this must be the hardest part. I made it. I made it down. Okay. Next thing you know, it's worse. And I am flipped upside down, choking, screaming, hanging on to my inner tube for dear life. I didn't want to get back on that inner tube. I didn't want to do it. But this guide who saw that I was just in a frantic said, it's okay, miss, get on your inner tube. It's calm now. I will pull you the rest of the way. And there's a pool at the end that is just like glass. And I didn't believe him. I was really skeptical, but I got on the inner tube. And like he said, he pulled me the rest of the way and floated me into the middle of the most beautiful, calm pool I have ever seen.
Wow.
And that's what we need to do with our life. Get out of the churning rapids, step apart, and take time for you and enter the sacred pool.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, how does your book help people do that?
I lay out different steps that you can take in the form of dances, which is, of course, my title.
Mhm.
And Eckhart Tolle's, I want to just read his little, just a short little quote. There are three words that convey the secret of the art of living, the secret of all success and happiness. One with life, being one with life is being one with now. You then can realize you don't live your life, but life lives you. Life is the dancer, and you are the dance. And I think we need to just dance our own dance and do it from the now. Don't go backwards. Your past got you where you are now, but it never should define your future. You define your future. You start from right now by living in the now and dancing to your own life dance.
That's beautiful. Very beautiful. So, if people want to get your book, they can go to http://tinyurl.com/dancing of life. Dancing of life. And it's up on the screen as well. And so let's go on. So many of our listeners might be single and looking for Mr. Right. What advice do you give them?
I get this question a lot, Ellen. I have a lot of friends here in Florida because it's heavy on the women.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, I'm out there, and this is what many of them say to me, and I cringe. If this is you, hear this. They say, oh, I'm so tired of dating. I'm so tired of men. There are no good men out there. All the good men are taken. Men are jerks. And they say this over and over again. If you're saying those things, one of the most important things you need to do is stop that right now, because your brain recognizes everything you say. It says, I want a jerk. There's no good men out there, so send me another jerk. Stop saying those things and start writing down, first of all, what do you want in a man? Write his qualities. Write what you want. Write what would make your heart sing. And start saying, I know the universe is going to send me the most wonderful man in the world because he's going to be just right for me. And that's what you want. You want the one that's just right for you. And what's right for your friend isn't going to be who's right for you. So start doing those things and start anticipating. Don't go searching. Men sense desperateness and run right away. So think about what you want and start living from the inside out, and the universe will draw that person to you. I found my husband in that frantic move I made down to Florida.
So there was a purpose, huh?
No, yes, ultimately, but I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been alone a while, and I said, no, I don't want to get married again. I don't want to meet anybody. And my girlfriend made me go out with her one night to this club,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to go, but I did. And woe and behold, this man walked by me, and I kept trying to see where he went. I thought, that's the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life, but he's got to be taken. He's too cute.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally searched and searched and searched and kept trying to get his eye somewhere, and there he was looking right back at me. And our eyes met, and we came towards each other, introduced ourselves. He asked me to dance, and we have been together ever since.
Wow.
And we've been married now for 8 years, but that was 11 years ago when we met, when I moved to
Wow.
Florida 11 years ago.
What,
So
so did
it
you know right
happens.
away? Was it love at first sight?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Absolutely love at first sight. The first date he took me on, we never stopped talking. However, I didn't jump and go on a date the next night like he asked me to.
Uh-huh.
I said, actually, no, I'm not available till next week. Well, how about next Tuesday? Okay. So, don't be so ready to, the book called All the Rules is
Hmm.
really a good book.
Hmm.
And, a lot of stuff in there maybe is a little over the top, but
Hmm.
basically there's some truth in there. And my daughter said, now, Mommy, you follow all the rules down there and don't just go meet up with somebody for the first time and be interested in them. But there I was, meeting the perfect person for me.
Wow.
And you can do it too.
So, Barbara, I mean, your whole, not just what you say, but the way you say it and how you're very inspiring in terms of, your own story, the things that you've overcome, and being able to help other people do the same thing. I mean, it's a really admirable mission. And so, we really want to help people. I know you do, and I know I do too, is help people to get on that path and find their own happiness, their own joy, their own life mate, whatever it is that they're looking for in the universe. And dancing in rhythm with the universe, 10 steps to choreographing your best life is a really great place to start. It is a guide to develop strategies for success in relationships and life. And what Barbara says is, you learn to walk right through inner fears and fall into perfect alignment with the dance of the universe. So in the book, you're going to learn how to live a joyful and more fulfilling life, be empowered to start living the life of your dreams, recognize resistance to change and open up to the miracles of the universe, learn how to accomplish your goals with clarity and purpose, develop laser focus on what you really want to do, say no when necessary and feel good about it, learn that life does not always have to be hard, how to not let pain of your past rob you of an amazing future, and step out of the past firmly into the now, and learn to expand your space outward to welcome what is yet to come. So, for anybody who's looking for this, I really want to urge you to pick up Barbara's book at http:// tinyurl.com/dancing of life. Dancing of life. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to give people a free bonus to help them get started. And if they're watching this on the replay, they'll be able to see it in the description, but I'll also give it out here. And what it is it's 3 powerful exercises for finding your true purpose in life, because I know a lot of people have trouble doing that. It's actually called what life will expand your vision and your ability to dream, the first step to creating true wealth. And by wealth, we don't just mean money. We mean happiness, riches, whatever it is whatever your dream is in this lifetime. So to get that free bonus, you can go to www.theebookcoach.com, the T-H-E, ebook, E-B-O-O-K, coach, C-O-A-C-H.com, / dance of life. Dance of life. Okay? So, and again, that will be in the description. So to get the book, you'll go to tinyurl.com / dancing of life. I believe that's what it is. And then the bonus at theebookcoach.com / dance of life. So before we go, is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I think we covered it all, and I just want to encourage everyone to, um, you know, do those dances and love your life, laugh, get your exercise down, get out there. It's a great world.
What do you mean, do those dances?
The dances that I have outlined in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Be courageous. The dance of intention. What is your deepest intention for your life? What do you want more than anything? Write it down. What is it? Bring it out. It's wonderful to learn more about yourself by doing those things. Dance of goals. Get your goals set. Write them down. What defines your dance of success? All of these dances, dance of love, dance of happiness, health, all of these dances were written to help you dance your own now, like Eckhart Tolle tells us.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Barbara. I really appreciate you taking this time to come out and tell us about your book. And again, for anybody who wants to get it, it's at http://tinyurl.com/dancing of life. So thank you, and everybody have a great day. And if you've enjoyed this interview, please feel free to share it with friends, colleagues, family. It's all about making this world a better place and paying it forward, and what you put out comes back. So have a great life and share the joy. Bye-bye.
Bye.